Not everyone sees the world the same way, and some men have a way of doing things that leaves others completely baffled. They don't follow the usual path, and their actions often catch people off guard. You might think you know how a person will react in certain situations, but these men consistently surprise everyone around them. It's not about being different for the sake of it. It's about doing things in a way that feels right. And while it may make no sense to others, Sigma males have their own reasons for everything they do. Here are 7 things that these men do differently that shock everyone else. Number 1, they just walk off in the middle of arguments. When things start to heat up in an argument, you might expect someone to dig in and fight it out. But not these guys. Sigma males have a unique way of handling disagreements that leaves others scratching their heads. They simply walk away. This action can be totally surprising to anyone who's used to the usual back and forth, where people feel the need to prove their point until the very end. Walking away mid-conversation isn't an act of rudeness, it's a clever strategy. Instead of letting emotions run high and saying things they might regret, Sigma men choose to step back. This pause helps them calm down and gather their thoughts, allowing them to see the bigger picture without being overwhelmed by the heat of the moment. It's all about maintaining control over their feelings and not giving anyone the satisfaction of getting a rise out of them. While the person left behind might feel confused or insulted, thinking they have lost the argument, that's just not how Sigma men see it. By removing themselves from a heated situation, they avoid unnecessary drama and often come back with clearer heads. Sigma males won't tolerate pointless conversations that lead nowhere. When an argument is getting out of hand, they won't stick around just for the sake of it. They choose their battles wisely and know when to disengage. And while this approach may seem counterintuitive, it's what makes them so effective at diffusing conflicts. Number 2, they celebrate birthdays with just a close few. When birthdays come around, most people throw big parties, invite heaps of friends, and share every moment on social media. But for most Sigma males, the celebration takes a different turn. They often prefer to spend their special day in a more personal way, only inviting a close-knit circle of friends. This choice can really raise eyebrows. Instead of the hustle and bustle of a massive gathering, these guys appreciate the quiet and meaningful moments. A peaceful day to reflect, engage in hobbies they love, or simply enjoy their own company is often far more appealing than a noisy party. It's less about the number of people celebrating and more about quality time with a few who truly matter. Having just a few trusted friends around brings a sense of warmth and authenticity. Celebrating in this way isn't about missing out. It's about cherishing what really resonates with them. These men find joy in shared moments that don't involve flashy gifts or over-the-top decorations. A simple dinner and meaningful conversations or a fun activity with friends is enough to make their birthday memorable. This choice may seem odd to some, as many assume that bigger is always better when it comes to celebrations. But it's not about the size of the party. It's about how it aligns with their values and brings them true happiness. They don't need to impress anyone or prove anything. They're comfortable with keeping things low-key and genuine. And perhaps, in a world where everything seems to be on display, this unorthodox approach is what makes their birthdays truly special. Number 3, they live minimally despite high income. While many chase flashy cars, big houses, and the latest gadgets to show off their wealth, these guys do just the opposite. Having a lot of money doesn't mean they need to spend it all. Instead of surrounding themselves with expensive stuff, they focus on what really matters. Experiences, relationships, and why not, a rainy day fund or retirement savings. Walking into their homes, you might find a simple space filled with just a few essential items instead of clutter and excess. This minimal approach isn't just about having less, it's about creating a peaceful environment that supports their lifestyle and values. Another reason for their minimalist lifestyle is that it gives them freedom. With fewer things to worry about, they can focus on what they enjoy most. Plus, staying minimal helps them avoid the stress that often comes with maintaining a lot of items. No more cleaning, organizing, or paying for all that stuff. People often wonder why they choose this route. It's not because they can't afford more, it's because they appreciate the simple things in life. Not everyone understands this choice, and some may even think they're stingy. But for these men, the joy of living minimally is a reward in itself. It transforms the way they see happiness and shows that true wealth isn't measured by what you have, but by how fulfilled you feel. Number 4. They reject promotions for more freedom. When it comes to climbing the career ladder, not everyone is focused solely on the next big title or pay raise. Some guys will turn down promotions to keep their freedom and control over their lives, and that often leaves others scratching their heads. You might think they're crazy for letting a chance at a fatter paycheck slip away, but for Sigma males, it's about so much more than just money. Their idea of success often doesn't match what most people expect. Freedom to make choices and manage their own time is crucial for them. Taking on a promotion often means longer hours and more stress. While others see the shiny label of manager or that nice paycheck, these guys know those things can come with hidden strings. This isn't to say they're not interested in growing their careers or taking on more responsibility, but they'll only do it if the benefits outweigh the sacrifices. This mindset can seem counterintuitive to those who are constantly chasing more money and power. But success for a Sigma male is about finding balance and fulfillment, not just climbing higher and higher on the corporate ladder. Freedom beats status every single time for them, and that unexpected perspective can really take people by surprise. Number 5. They express unpopular opinions without fear. What sets these men apart is how they voice their thoughts, especially when it comes to unpopular opinions. They don't shy away from saying what others might be too scared to express. While most people play it safe, concerned about fitting in or being liked, Sigma males are all about honesty. Whether it's in casual conversations or heated debates, they'll share their perspectives, even if they know it might ruffle some feathers. This willingness to speak their mind can really catch people off guard. Imagine being in a group where everyone agrees on one point, and then suddenly, one person boldly states a different view. Instead of backing down or adjusting their thinking for the sake of harmony, they stand firm, ready to explain their reasoning. This clarity often leads to deeper discussions, forcing others to think critically rather than just rolling with the crowd. What drives this confidence? It often comes from a solid sense of self. These men aren't overly concerned about pleasing everyone or maintaining a certain image. They trust their own judgment and understand that differing opinions can lead to growth and new ideas. Their perspective is simple. Life's too short to blend in when you can stand out by being authentic. When they express opinions that shock people, it's not meant to stir the pot for fun. It's about challenging the status quo and encouraging real conversations. Sometimes, this can make their relationships a bit rocky, as not everyone is ready for the truth. But for these men, the reward is worth the risk. Staying true to themselves is what truly matters. It's a bold move that leaves a lasting impression, sparking thoughts and discussions long after they've shared their views. Number 6. They ignore social media completely. While most people seem glued to their screens, scrolling endlessly through social media feeds, Sigma males take a different route entirely. They ignore it. This habit can truly catch everyone off guard. In a time where likes, shares, and followers often dictate one's value or popularity, these men choose not to play that game. Instead of obsessing over posts or comparing themselves to others, they focus on real-life connections and experiences. Meaningful conversations and face-to-face interactions hold much more weight than virtual ones. You won't find them worrying about what others think of their last holiday photo or their dinner plate. They're more interested in how they spend their time with friends and family in person. This approach serves two main purposes. First, it frees up a lot of time. Without constantly checking for notifications or scrolling through the latest trends, they can devote energy to hobbies, interests, or self-improvement. Second, it provides a break from the negativity often found on social media. With endless opinions and drama, platforms can become overwhelming. Ignoring this noise allows them to stay level-headed and keep their focus on what really matters. Dropping social media can look strange to those around them. Some might think they're missing out, while others may question their grasp on modern life. But for these men, their choice reflects a desire for a simpler, more authentic existence. Their self-confidence shines through as they march to their own beat, unaffected by what others are posting or saying online. Resisting the social media habit isn't about rejecting technology or deleting all accounts. It's about using these tools intentionally and knowing when to disconnect. Number 7. They stay silent in group discussions. When a group of people gets together to chat, it's common for everyone to jump in with their opinions and thoughts. But then, Sigma males just sit back and listen. This can be surprising, especially in lively discussions where everyone else is talking. Choosing to stay quiet doesn't mean they have nothing to say. They just watch and listen first. Staying silent allows them to pick up on all the little details, the body language, and the emotions in the room. They absorb everything like a sponge, giving them a clearer picture of what's going on. While others might be busy trying to prove their point, these individuals are focused on understanding the bigger conversation. Being quiet can often be more powerful than speaking out. This approach often leaves people wondering whether they're shy or indifferent. But the truth is, it takes confidence to hold back and not feel the need to comment on every topic. Being selective about when to speak shows they respect the conversation and want to add something meaningful rather than just contribute noise. It might also come as a surprise that many great ideas come from those who spend more time listening than talking. They often have fresh perspectives that others might not see, simply because they've taken the time to absorb what's already been said. On top of that, they're not caught up in the competition of who can talk the loudest or the fastest.